you have a friend, relative, or stalker who's close to the end? Is a toxic family member you hate about to kick the bucket? Then consider allowing them to spend the rest of their days under the care of Rising Suns Hospice, a premier end-of-care life facility with franchises all over the world. And Rising Suns isn't just any ordinary hospice. We specialize in a certain type of clientele, those that society have deemed too problematic, either because of a troubled past, anger issues, or felony assaults on their record. At Rising Suns, we give even the most hardened murderers the best of care. After all, everyone should have the chance to pass from this world while nurturing their inner demons in peace. But don't just take it from us. Here's what people are saying about Rising Suns in your neighborhood.
When Daddy was in federal prison for killing that cop, I never got to see him. But since he moved to Rising Suns, I get to visit all the time.
Just because my husband is a violent maniac doesn't mean he shouldn't die in comfort. Thanks, Rising Suns.
So what are you waiting for? Call or schedule your free tour today. Because at Rising Suns Hospice, you'll be dying to get in.
Rising Suns Hospice, where the sun never sets on the darkness inside of you.
Rising Suns Hospice is not liable for any demons or demonic entities that might emerge from your body as a result of your stay. All residents should sleep with one eye open. Do not smile, laugh, or have any thoughts of happiness or joy while staying at Rising Suns. Premature termination of life is pretty much guaranteed. Even a tour may end in death.
So that was the thing you guys listened to. Welcome to the Rising Suns Hospice launch party. We are going to be online for the next little bit of time with 6 creators, 6 campaigns, all in one shared universe. This is a very, very cool thing that we put together. We've got 4 of our people here, and hopefully the other 2 will be coming very, very soon. Without further ado, let's get the other 3 people who are here to talk about Rising Suns Hospice and any other stuff they got going on. Russell, how are you, my launch brother? How are you?
I am doing good. You know, it's nice to hit funding on day 1, so it's all gravy from here, right?
It's all gravy. It's all gravy to get that funding, get that stuff. I'm still a little behind, but I'm catching up on you fast. Hi, Danny. Hi, Danny. How are you? And we also got Frank Martin in the house.
Howdy.
Good. How are you this evening?
Fabulous on this wonderful hospice opening day.
And to wrap off our group of white dudes, we've got David Byrne. Hello, David.
He's muted, but he's not talking, so it's okay.
Hello, Travis.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
That pillow looks super comfy. Like the rest of us are kind of like healing, but
that's actually just part of the couch.
It's nice. It's nice. You spared no expense.
Well, I mean, coming from where I come from with the couch, how could I not have nice couches?
That's true. That's true. Writing a comment about the couch, people would make fun of you. Now, none of you guys have been in David's house, but David has 5 TVs in that one room, which is odd.
3 TVs.
15. 15. I'll meet you in the You've got one, the regular TV. You've got one in the exercise equipment, which is the same room. Right?
There's 2 right next to each other in the living room. And one in what would normally be the dining room where the treadmill is. Yes, that's 3.
Okay, maybe I'm just
various purposes.
And then on the right is his laptop, which also has sports playing.
That may be true.
So, but we're not here to talk about David's TVs, though they are very interesting. We are here to talk about hospice, guys. It has finally happened. We have been meeting for a year talking about hospice, what it's going to be, what this is all going to be about. Frank made a trailer, like a jingle, a commercial for it. David's brought the sexy. Russell brought his crazy, brought in the horror, and I brought Prejudice Against Texas.
Well, and she just brought us all together too.
Right. The Avengers had to have their Nick Fury. You know,
it's true. It's true. I don't want to be Nick Fury. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and Travis Gibb. All right. Gambit says hello, talented artist. Icky says, what is up? Totally excellent. And Todd Reed says, hello on this hospice of days. Hospices of days. So
I was thinking for a closing party, we should actually crash 6 individual hospices and just have a party from inside a hospice. You think that's a great idea?
While someone passes over?
Exactly.
Alive.
Film it live. It's happening. No, that would be.
It's a rough thing, right? Like I found out the guy on Smash Mouth was in hospice and I wasn't worried. Oh no, he's going to lose his family. I was just like, wow, they're going to be talking about hospice a lot in the next couple of days.
I wonder what demon was in him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it was an all-star. I'll tell you that.
I just watched Mystery
We've got a problem. This is 2 nights in a row we've made light of him passing. We need to stop.
Actually, in all seriousness, I found out, like, because he died of a liver problem from over drinking. I found out that he lost a child, and I was not aware of that. And that is probably why he was overly drinking. I would probably do the same thing. So I'm not even mad. We've got Benjamin.
Why would you be mad at his death?
I thought mad was the
Yeah, mad's probably not the greatest word, right? Congratulations on a great launch. Frank Martin, he's my favorite Frank, right next to Miller.
Oh, my praise.
I actually prefer Frank Martin, the colorist, over at Marvel. I prefer him, but
I prefer Frank Martin, the composer, and Frank Martin, the transporter from Jason Statham movies. That's usually where people say the name from the most.
Thank you, Gareth. We got a lot of people watching this, so let's talk about hospice, how it came to be, what it was all about.
I feel like you should do that, Travis. Because
right.
Your brainchild.
So hospice. So I was going. I finished Cthulhu Invades Wonderland, and I was like, you know what? I would like to still work with my friends, but I do not want to do another anthology because anthologies are not as fun as they should be. There's a lot of work to it. There's a lot of stuff. And I thought of a way, I was listening to an interview and I don't remember the person. I think it was Todd McFarlane. I think it was right after his toy thing. And maybe someone could back me up on this. It was right after his toy launch on his Kickstarter. He said, we like to pretend in the industry that Kickstarter is not the 4th largest publisher. And I've heard a lot of people say it's the 3rd largest publisher, but coming from Todd, it was probably right after Image, which makes sense. And I was like, if we're going to handle this company, this Kickstarter as a publisher, let's start doing shit like publishers do. So I came to 6 people and said, hey, I've got an idea for a book. And that idea was for a book. And it was very simple. It was using the format of Silver Coin. Silver Coin is a book from Image. It's actually against me for best anthology this weekend in Baltimore. So it's going to be really weird if it beats me. It's going to be this weird thing. I was like, you beat me, but I kind of doing your thing for hospice. So it's okay. Maybe, I don't know. Anyways. So Silver Coin, it's a whole bunch of writers do just a story about a silver coin, and that silver coin makes someone evil, and they write stories about it. I had a very similar concept. I was like, what if a hospice, when someone goes there, they spawn a demon? And some people may think they're evil. Some people may not know they're evil, but it's normally evil people who've done bad things have been incubating this demon, and it's come out. I brought that to everyone. These are for the people who said that was a good idea, do something stupid. And the other big part of that pitch was we're going to do a book together, but never cross money, which I think is a big deal. We're never going to cross-contaminate our money, because I think that's where things get rough is somebody gets one of the money and then they have to split it up. We're never going to cross money, and we're all going to be in the same shared universe. So anybody want to add to the origin stories there or have something else to add, or what you thought about when you saw the pitch?
I generally think this might be stupid. It might be brilliant, but I'm just going to go with it because every time that I have a Travis comes, I'm like, this is a really interesting idea. It may be foolish, but I don't know, I might as well try it. Which is one thing I really appreciate about your work, Travis, is you're pretty much always willing to try any idea and see. So many people spend a lot of time talking themselves out of ideas, and you are very good about just being like, is this a good idea? And if you have enough people to just do it. And I've always respected that about your process.
Travis never gets to the.
I only caught. I missed a little bit of that. I apologize because. Thank you. I appreciate that. David, how about you?
How about me? What?
What was your thought of hospice? I know that you were like, all right, Travis, I'll do another stupid thing. That's fine. Stop calling me. Was it more than that, or?
No, I mean, I think like everything else, I'm pretty sure the first thing I said to you was I need more information, because when you first have an inception of an idea, you just come at us with like verbal diarrhea for a moment, and then it's like, all right, and then
I made a document.
You did, and that's when I read the document, I was like, okay, I mean, we can do something with this. Let's flesh it out and go from there. And it seems to have worked out well. And I mean, at this point, we have no choice. We're pretty far in, so we're gonna find out.
I'm having second thoughts.
Or you're
fine.
You guys could get out now if you'd like. I mean, only Russell and I are on the hook.
And all those people buying the connecting covers can just have 2 random letters.
Well, what letter you got, Russell? You got O, right? And I got C. That spells
Co.
or
OC, original characters.
It's a very weird coexist because it's the O has the pentagram inside of it.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, really, people can put the letters in any order they want the way we've designed the covers.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty cool. Let's do a hospice. What are those called? An anagram, hospice anagram contest. So you can come up with the best word.
I will say this: OC does spell orange cone, so I'm fine if you guys credit.
And they're orange, so you're in good shape.
Okay, so mine would be Spice Ho, I guess, because it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
What's really cool is David is going to be printing all of the connecting covers. So we're printing all of the other covers, probably from similar places or like one of a few places. But David had the idea for doing like having one place for all the connectings so that they all look the same. I think it's a very good idea. So if anyone out there is like, I don't know, 6 people doing 6 covers, why would I get these connecting covers? David has a plan.
Sounds like a frequently asked question.
It is a frequently asked question. Don't forget to please like, share this post out that we're live, please. We just shared the link for the 2 that are live right now. We're going to talk that. Kyle, have we already talked about Travis' haircut? Is that coming up later in the stream? That is a good question. We have not talked about my haircut yet.
Is there something different about his haircut? Like, I just assume, like, it seems like a Travis. This is like the most Travis haircut I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Travis got a good shape up. I just have my wife buzz my head. That's kind of what I go with.
I paid the big monies, just in case.
But let's get your shape up for Ringo.
I gotta get the shape up for Ringo. I gotta get it up. I went into Men's Warehouse today. How much do you guys think it is to rent a suit these days?
It's probably cheaper to buy one.
To rent?
Yeah, how much do you think it is?
I don't know, a couple $100.
Okay. What you got, Russell?
I'm going to say real low, $37.
All right. David, what are you going?
I was thinking in the 50 range.
The minimum that I could rent a suit for was $300.
What? So if you go to Joseph A. Bank, you can get a whole suit for like $90.
And just so you know, I wasn't even looking for a full suit. I was just looking for a vest, a nice shirt, and dress pants. Like, not even shoes. Like, so none of the expensive parts that I want. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna shop. And
did you tell them you're not going to prom? That it's a normal person event.
No, so we'll see how that pans out. But let's talk about hospice. Let's talk about our campaigns and the ones we have up and the ones that we have coming. So let's start with Russell. Let's start with yours, since you're beating mine. If there was a race, there is no competition. It's
too late. You already said it. Cat's out of the bag. It's a competition.
if there is competition, Russell
take it
is
back.
currently beating me, but I beat him many times throughout the day. So I think it's going to be a good race. So
I'm actually surprised at how close that we were for launching at roughly the same time. I figured there would be more than like a $200 difference in pricing and more than like a dozen or so backers. It's just, and most of, for at one point of the day, like we had the exact same number of backers and within like $10 of funding.
right. Yeah. It was
Neck and neck.
So
so
oh, look, I went over 1,500. That's nice.
nice. 1,500. That's a big goal. 105 backers, 20 days to go.
Yes. So my idea was I wanted to make a pulp comic, but with the weird, like cartoony art style that I love. So I met this artist on Instagram, Lane Lloyd, who is incredible, and this really weird art style. And I just decided I wanted to work with them like a couple of weeks before you messaged me. And so I wanted it to kind of have the coloring feel of like a 1940s pulp comic if it was today. So that's why you see the like yellows and like it feels a little more muted. And what's nice about my campaign is I don't know if you're I think Travis did it too. I think I saw it earlier, but like I have all the other campaigns on my campaign. So even if you're like, I don't care even a little bit about Russell's campaign, you should still go there because you can get to all the other campaigns from my campaign. What's cool, you can see that it was Michael did a little key card. So if you get all 6 campaigns, you get this cool key card if you scroll down a little bit. And it's going to be filled with digital comics and probably some extras if we can get our asses in gear and actually do them at some point. But like that's future us's problem. Right. Current us's problem is to get all 6 of these things launched. You can see the connecting cover if you scroll up again. This is for each campaign has a different letter. I'm not even going to try and butcher this nice gentleman's name who did all the covers. David, what's his name?
Aranga Devasarendra.
Yeah, I was right. I shouldn't have. I'm glad I didn't do that. And he's done cool covers for David before. And we decided to each do a cover so it spells out hospice. And I love it. And I love that all of them are going to have a trade dress too. That A cover is going to be the same trade dress for all 6 of the campaigns. The connecting cover. And then, I don't know, everyone's going to have other covers. I'm not very good at doing covers. So I was like, I can do a virgin and I can do a metal one. And I figured if I'm ever going to do a metal cover, it has to be while David is, when I'm working with David. Because I figure if any fandom is that someone I know is going to do metal covers, it's going to be David.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm actually finding the metals are more popular than foils now.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Definitely be the other way around.
Yeah, that makes sense though. I think. I don't know why it makes sense, but it does. And then if you scroll back up, Travis, you're going so fast. I'm trying to give that's what I want. Okay. What's really cool. So people were like, are you going to do any add-ons? Russell, you don't have any add-ons. Like, where's your new pin? Where's your new this? And I was like, just wait. We're going to do something cool. Like, just trust me that it's going to be cool. Okay. And Michael Watson has this card game called Epic 21. And we're doing a set of 12 cards, even though there's 13 in here. I assure you it's 12. I just asked this morning. It said 12. And they're going to be able to be really cool character cards, but also they're going to work with his Epic 21 system. And I'm very excited to see these ones. And we're going to offer them on each campaign is going to have this one add-on. And then Michael is going to ship all of the add-ons. So if you're like, if you're going to get charged for the shipping, it's twice if you do that one, just so you know.
Right.
Yes, there's a bunch of people. You can see Jamie and Michael also on that page, who are not here. And I don't think I've actually told you what the story is about. So my story is about it's a pulp about a terminally ill patient that terminally ill convict who is released from prison to live out his final days in this very creepy hospice, and it turns out to be more horrifying than he could ever imagine. And okay, I'm just gonna spill the tea. I forgot to get the colorist to do the caption boxes in this lettering. This page should be all like caption boxes, like old pulps. But when I shared it with people and they read it, everyone said that it was great and they understood it. And I was like, maybe I don't need those text boxes and caption boxes. So it was an error that ended up working in my favor because, old pulps had a lot of voiceover and work. So someone's like, hey, there's not a lot of voiceover in here. There actually is. I just made a fortuitous mistake to not actually have the captions done. And so far, I'm going to ask people when I'm on their show how they if they have read the book, if they thought anything was lacking, because I can still add it, but I actually really like how it reads without those caption boxes.
What I like about your story too is that yours is extra sunny. It's rising sun, but you're in Sunny Valley Penitentiary, so it's extra sunny. It's all sunshine and happiness in horrible places. The Sunny Valley Penitentiary and the Rising Sun Hospice.
Well, but that's one of the things I loved about the name when you first told me what it was, because aren't the most horrible things named the sunniest places, right. And or the most cheerful places? And so I thought that Rising Sun was great. And I was like, well, maybe they connect. Maybe Sunny Valley is a feeder into Rising Sun's Hospice.
Yeah, I like it. But you can get a free preview right here of each book, which is pretty cool. And we've got a little bit to go. We've got all of the cool stuff. You've got until the 9th to get all the digital awards, which is something that you do on all your campaigns, which I think is pretty cool. And then normally, and I assume this as well, you'll get different ones starting on the 9th. So the sooner you're back in, the more stuff you're going to get.
That's true. If you've never been part of my campaigns before, basically every week I release additional weekly perks. And I thought about making this one each of our books, each other books. I got Travis's because I already had Travis's.
Sure.
I don't think I got anyone else's, but hopefully at some point I will get other people like Frank and David, maybe on their launch weeks, to put something in here for them.
Nice.
Glad to share.
All right. So that is the first one's live. I'm going to share it through all the links, let everyone know. So make sure you keep backing it, doing your thing. I know that we already have one backer while we're here. He jumped on both of our campaigns, which is great.
Yay.
Which I think is amazing, because we need all the support we can get. We want this to be a thing. One of the things that we've talked about is if this really works, we're not the people who've created this, because everyone's a creator. All 6 of us are creators. We're community people. So we're okay with having other people part of this thing. It's not like a exclusive club, which I think is really nice. I think it's great. So if it works, when maybe this will be a thing that people do every year and have different people connected, and we can lend them the logo and stuff. So
I also just really like that it's new. It's just a new I've never seen a shared universe on Kickstarter like this before. So I hope it works also, so I can buy other shared universe comics on Kickstarter and other universes as well. But yes, mostly I want us to be able to do it more.
Right. So this is the other one live. This is mine. This is No Freedom in Texas. I call it Texas. So in the beginning, I talk about all the hospice stuff. But what is it about is this this woman right here has a baby, and this is her husband over here to the left. And they are running from these gentlemen. See these gentlemen who are there? These gentlemen have been harassing them because they are border jumpers. They're from Mexico, and they've jumped into Texas. And these people want to make sure that they are not welcome in the state of Texas. So as these missionaries run, they hide themselves into the Rising Sun Hospice, and they find that the monsters inside may be the worst of the monsters chasing them. So it's going to be very cool. We do some really awesome things. Like these are both double page spreads. We do 2 double page spreads. I've never done that before. So we're trying to really build the horror vibe. You know, once the horror starts, it's going to have this red tone throughout the book. I'm really excited about this one. This was the idea that sprung all the other ideas, right? This was a story that I had when I pitched them. You know, hey, you guys can do whatever you want. This is what I'm going to do. And I've got the very talented David Swartz. He's killing it on the covers, doing some really cool stuff. Here is the Hospice cover. Again, I'm sure Russell's seeing the same thing. People love this trade dress. This is one of the biggest back things is the trade dress, the uniform trade dress, which I think is really cool. And then I got a few people who backed the orange cone trade dress because I wanted to show that it's one of the things that I wanted to show on my campaign is that it's everyone's publishing company. It's however they do their branding, however they do their stuff, they can do it. So I used all my stuff. I know that David's going to use his stuff. I know that Michael Watson's going to use his stuff for FSK. The people who really have that strong branding with their publishing company are really going to lean into that design. We've got, of course, the C right here. So if you want the rank of C with a very cool demon there. As you see, it's all connected. We've got this very cool thing. And then I've got this really cool cover as well that shows Texas, and this shows our monster. Our monster's name is the Black Tar Apothekar. He is a old, actually I won't spoil that, but he's connected to oil if you can't tell. So he is very cool, hence the name Black Tar. And I've got all our digital rewards here, all in nice little pictures and stuff for people to get. And I created this little graphic. I don't think many, you guys, unless you looked at my campaign today, you guys probably didn't see this yet.
I didn't. It's cool. I like it.
You guys can steal it. You're more than welcome to. And then all the names of everyone involved in doing the thing. But yeah, and then we have much just like Russell's. If you go to my campaign, because maybe you only know me, you can go ahead and click right on what's here. You get Russell's right here and click. I show all the covers with the link, with the basic description, so you guys can click and get right into these campaigns as quickly as possible. So. And
the preview has the covers as well. If you download the preview from any of the pages that are doing that. Can I tell you a funny story about me conversing with Jerome about your book?
Sure.
So,
Absolutely.
The pages, the only one who doesn't have lettering in the book, in the preview, is Travis's, because he sent me these 4 pages. And I'm looking at them. I'm like, what am I looking at 2 panels, like 2 pages? Then did he just send you 2 panels to call? Like, what is going on here? Like, and then he's like, no, those are 2-page spreads, dummy. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that makes a whole lot more sense then.
Yeah, no, we didn't letter it. Honestly, I'll be honest with everyone live. We really wanted to get Broke Down out first, so that was our top priority. This had a deadline. I just didn't hit the deadline. We probably could have had the deadline, but my whole family got sick over the weekend. We were all sick as a dog, so we were behind. So we just made the call because I want to get you guys Broke Down so you guys know that you could campaigns. The things that people back campaigns for are that they trust that you're going to deliver. So I need to show that I'm going to trust that I'm delivering. I know when I send out that digital, everyone's going to feel confident, and we're going to get all that going on. Epic 21, Mike Watson did this game. Russell just talked about it, but I think it's going to be really cool. We have our own Hospice expansion, which is pretty cool. And then you can buy all the add-ons, all these wonderful Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies books, Broke Down and Expired and Voodoo and Corns Judas, Grand State, all that stuff. You can buy all those as add-ons. We show you that we've made a whole bunch of campaigns. I've got to add the latest 2. And that's it. This is our campaign for Hospice, Texas.
It's really tough to talk about it, isn't it? Because there's like each one has like a lot of twists, and you're like, I need you to just, this campaign more than any other, I've been like, you have to just trust that it's going to be cool, because if I tell you what's going to happen in it, like, you're going to be angry at me because I'm going to because it's only a 20-page one-shot story. So like, it's going to have like 2 or 3 twists in it. And I if I tell you literally any other word, it's going to spoil this thing that I'm doing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. Our goal is to get this out to you guys and get you guys all connected with it and be part of it. It's really cool to work with all these creators and see how the way they do it. And all the page counts are different and all the stories are different. But they're all standard size. Just I think you're 20, Russell, and I'm 24, and Frank's 28, right? Frank, or you?
What?
You 20? You're 22.
Story?
Yeah,
I'm 20.
20. Okay. And then David, I think you're over, right?
No, I'm 26.
26. That's over.
Over what?
24.
Standard.
There's no standard.
Well, there's standard. Standard is between 20 and 24.
You say so.
I do. I 100% say so.
Then I don't think I've ever hit standard.
I can believe that. Marvel's 22, occasional 20. Depends on the book you read.
They've been as bad as 18 over the last couple of years.
That's old school. That's the old school Marvel and DC way. 17 pages.
And then 24 on big 24 tends to be indie. What it tends to be. But, all right. So next one. So I've got your campaigns here. We're gonna just show. I guess I don't have Frank's, but I have yours. Frank wants me to hunt it down. Apparently,
yes, I do want you to. I want you to hunt it down because I want to talk about. I want to talk about Frank's one too.
Who doesn't
Russell,
want to talk
I put a
about
link in the
cannibals?
private chat.
So let's talk about Skin Deep. Giving us a great cover there, but tell us a little bit about it. And guys, I'm going to link this in the chat. All you guys for this one, you don't even spend any money. You just click on it to follow it, so you know when it launches.
But it's a promise to spend money.
It is a promise to spend money. Yeah, you will break his heart if you do not spend the money. Tell us about what Skin Deep's going to be about.
All right, so ours is about an exotic dancer who seems to get in trouble everywhere she goes, and it basically makes her nomadic. And in following our hospice theme, she is tracked down by some Rising Suns hospice workers, and they think she's got a demon in her, and then things go from there. Pretty straightforward. Yeah.
I like that.
If it was
it's
a
like
comedy, I would say shenanigans ensue, or hijinks.
I like that. It's almost like the the opposite of like priests. You got a demon inside. We got to exercise those demons. You got a demon inside. We got to see if we can get it out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it sounds like the opposite of Dawn. From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
It's like they go to a strip club and like get attacked by, well, maybe I should. It's only 30 years old, but
right.
Yeah.
And have a
no. That is 40 years old, my friend. That is because my daughter's 21, and that was out way before she was born.
I can't believe there's like 4 From Dusk Till Dawns and a TV show.
That is true. And I got to tell you, Dusk Till Dawn, the beginning of that movie is one of my favorite crime movies, and then they ruin it with vampires. Also, if I watch it the opposite way, it's a really good vampire movie that can ruin the crime. It depends on which way you watch it. But neither one of them is what I wanted. I
think that's kind of the point.
A full vampire movie.
I don't care what you say. I love that movie.
I love that movie too. So, Hospice, Last Supper of Catskill Cannibal. I always think Cat Skinner for some reason. It's a horror.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Last Supper of the Catskill Cannibal is about this fella, who, if you couldn't guess, is the Catskill Cannibal. And he's fat and he's in prison and he's dying. So a hospice offers to take him in and feed him, because this is a special hospice because it's run by a famous chef who is very eager to satiate his palate. So I just wanted to have a whole lot of fun with this. I just wanted to get crazy. And I thought nothing's better than gourmet cannibalism. So I had a good time with it. And the great thing about this pitch from Travis is that there's just so many different interpretations about how it can be done. And Travis didn't really narrow it down for me. I annoyed him with a million questions. And I asked him, I said, so what's the corporate structure of these Rising Suns Hospice? Are they publicly traded? Are they franchises? And he's like, dude, I haven't gotten that far yet. I don't know, whatever you want. So it was, I had a lot of questions.
You also asked what the demons look like. Like, how big are they? Like, would they? How could they be bigger than the human that they're in? Like, how does he?
I had like David, I had a lot of questions, but mine were more like logistical questions. I'm like, so is this a metaphorical demon in the guy, or is like he's literally inhabited by a demon? And Travis didn't want to answer. He's like, it's whatever you want it to be. And I think that was the great thing about this project, is that we all approach the same premise from so many different angles. And so even though it's a shared universe and we all have the same premise and the same brand of hospice, all of these stories kind of embody our own style and flair and take on it, which is why it feels like a shared universe, but it still feels like our own thing. And yeah, it's been a blast to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and the other two, even though they're not here, the other two that we have.
Okay, so Frank's is launching next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
David's is launching on the 19th.
Yes. So we're launching, the strategy of this is we're launching every 2 weeks. And here's why we're doing that, folks.
No, we're launching two every week.
Every week, 2 every week. So we're launching every 2 weeks. And the reason for that.
No, you just said it again. We're launching 2 every week.
2 every week.
It's been a long week for Travis, so you're gonna have to forgive him. He's gonna wind up in a hospice by the end of this month.
David had an interview with me last night, and I asked him a run-on sentence that didn't have a question at the end.
I think I said I'm not sure what you just asked me.
It's been a week. But it's coming towards the end. I'm excited. We got a lot of stuff going on.
It's Tuesday. It's not the end of this. It's literally the beginning of the week.
It's not. It's rough. It's rough. But the reason why we did that is to give everyone a breather, right? To allow your wallets to, everyone get paid every 2 weeks. That's where the 2 weeks came from. We assume most people get paid to help you guys out, so it's not coming all out of your account at the same time. That's part of it. 2 is, though we did want to flood the Kickstarter market with hospices, we did feel it was unfair to do 6 on one day. Though we did flirt with the idea many, many times.
Hospice dump.
And we've talked about many different ways. We've talked about doing 6 months of this, one at a time, and then having a trade at the end. We've done all sorts of, we've talked about all this, and then we as a team decided this is the best release schedule. And
no. We released, this is this release schedule that we could legitimately do without going insane.
Right.
That's what we agreed. Like, there may be better release schedules, but like this was the one that we could all agree on. Actually, that's what happened. We were like, which release schedule do we really want? And like, we could all agree on 1 month where we all staggered.
This has been a long year of planning, debating. It's like
you have like we've been having weekly meetings for like a month, like that's on a schedule, but we have been having meetings I think since last July about this, right?
Yeah. It's been over a year since
we had meetings where we didn't get anything done. We just argued, and then we're like, all right, we'll figure it out next time.
So that is how I know that we did not all agree on the best release schedule, because that one of those meetings where nothing got done was the release, how we were going to release. And we finally like had this as the, again, not ideal, but the one that when 6 people have to six people from 6 companies have to agree on how to release things, like, and then Travis has a lot of releases. I have a lot of releases, and like other people also are releasing a bunch of stuff. So like it was kind of like releasing a movie, because we were, if we were talking in July last year, it's like, okay, you will release September 12th, a year and a half from now.
Like that's the day. Like it was a lot of coordinating.
So this is another one. This is Concussion. So this is by the FSK team, which is really, really cool. This is done by some very new creators. This is their first comic book, so definitely one to check out. It is about a fighter who gets stuck in the world of hospice. I actually think this one doesn't even use the Rising Suns facility. I think it just uses the members of the Rising Suns. So again, like Frank said, everyone interpreted it different. Everyone used different parts of it that they thought were cool. And this one's really cool. I believe this one's coming out the 25th, right? This is
no, it's the 19th.
No,
It's coming out
19th. Sorry, the 19th. This is the 19th release. Releasing on the 19th, not the 19th release. I get it.
This is where Frank and my anal retentive attention to detail pays off for the hungry investor.
Yeah, it's multiples of 7. So you got, if it's on the 5th, the next one's on the 12th, and then the next one's on the 19th.
And this is the other one on the 11th.
Nope, it's the 12th.
Was that on purpose? Please tell me that was on purpose.
No, I really thought it was the 11th. In fact, I've been thinking this whole thing since I saw it on my campaign. I was like, shit, I wrote the wrong date. I got to change it to the 11th. So this is Ben's sister. She has actually been very quiet about her stuff, to be honest, even in the group. Like, we know the basic stuff. She sent us a script, but she's been very quiet. And a lot of people have been sharing art, like Russell shared his whole book. Jamie is very private, but it's so cool, the shit that we've seen. The covers are amazing. So I'm just going to read what her thing is.
She has a cool concept.
To stop her inner demons from being unleashed upon the world, a demon hunter must dive in the nightmare of the terminal ill criminal. A nightmare of a terminal ill calendar. So she is going kind of in people's head, like dealing with all this stuff. Like, it's wild.
Yeah,
it's a wild story.
And her first 3 pages that are, well, I'm assuming the 3 pages that are in the preview are so dope for all of the ones that I saw. I mean, art-wise only with Travis, but otherwise the first 3 pages that I saw of all of them are great. And like, Jamie's just like, when you told me that Jamie was going to come on board, I was like so into it, because I've worked with Jamie on 2 of the 3 Cthulhu's, and her stuff is just, it's like so unique and amazing. And I love Binary Star, and yeah.
Well, and she's been our secret for a long time, Russ and I's secret. Like, she's only done our anthologies in Binary Star. So she's been a secret for a long time, and I kind of feel like this is our unboxing. Like, here you go, because she's not. If you go in a lot of the creator groups, she's not in any of those groups. She's just the thing. I actually found her first. I just found her in a forum once. I was like, oh my God, this is great. This is good stuff. Please work with me. And then Russell saw in Oz, and you're like, oh, I like that. Let's keep her going. And we've kept her in our anthologies for a long time. And I feel this is like her unboxing video, if you want to say what the kids like. This is her unboxing to the world. Even though Binary Star does very well when it does Kickstarters, but it's just because she has a massive fan base out in Chicago. So if you want to get someone who you've never heard of, who I think when the right person sees her art style, like, definitely make sure you pick up that, as well as the other 6 of our books, to get the cool collecting cover and get the whole story, because it's all connected in one shared universe. We have all come together, had all our companies, put it all together for you guys to check out this very, very cool book. So if you know some of us, you don't know all of us, please do. We're going to hit all the shows coming up, doing a whole bunch of cool stuff coming up. I've got a schedule that I'm going to present to the guys for the end of the night. That's something that I have to do. But it's going to be wild. So stick around. I know Russell has a show tomorrow, right, Russell?
I do. I'll be on Wine and Comics tomorrow. Then Travis and I are going to be on Michael Watson's Chat and Draw next Monday.
Yep.
And then followed by Frank and Jamie will be on Chat and Draw the following week. And then David the week the week after. One thing I will say is, if you're thinking about like how do you get, we tried to make the connecting cover a reasonable price. So if you want to get in on the connecting cover, everyone has it for $20.
Right.
And then the 12-pack collector card, whichever campaign you buy it from, is the same $20 cost. And so if you're trying to map out what like all the things are going to be, everyone else kind of has their own pricing structure, but we did want to make sure that we made the connecting cover like a reasonable price to get something that's very, very cool. And I mean, I know other people have talked about maybe offering it like at the trade, but like I feel like you should just get it now, or like that's it. Like you get this, this, or you don't get it. And like it's fine if you don't get it, but like at the most, you're going to get one other shot after this month when we do the trade. And then we're not doing it again. And you can also pick up from 5 of the campaigns the original Oranga art. And
look at David Smart.
But we will tell you, if the other 5 are bought, we can convince the 6th one to come.
No. If it's bought by the same person.
I think we can convince him anyways, just so there's a hunt, because if the hunt ends with that one person.
David's going to create.
I still regret selling the Peach Momoko original artwork. So,
yeah.
Well, what's your letter, David?
H.
I mean, and that means so much to you, H.
It's very important. Give me an H.
This is a very important project for all of us, Travis. Like.
It is. I'm super excited to be all honest. Like I'm super excited to work with all you guys, be part of your companies, be part of your history, right? That's the cool thing that I don't think we've really talked about. Like we are now connected in someone's legacy, and it's not just an anthology. Anthology, Dave. I'm sure David and Russell and all of you guys have been in my anthology. I was in Travis's anthology when I was in Cthulhu's Heart. I was in Russell's. Hospice is not that. In the cover. We created by all of us. It's labeled as that. We are in there. Like you did your book, I did mine, but they're connected and they'll be forever connected. Someone could buy from Russell's table 3 years from now that issue of Hospice and be like, "Wow, I really liked it. Is there more?" There does happen to be more. It's just not by my company. Let me tell you the story. It's a cool thing that we're going to be able to do for a long time.
For sure.
And there's nothing stopping any of these people from having these characters appear in other things because they're owned. Russell, I think, once said that everything he does is all connected in one big universe. Not universes that are owned by other people like that. So like sometimes like the stuff from the anthologies, like they're not part of the same universe because other people own parts of that. So like except for that, everything's in the same universe. So where does Hospice land in that? Because you have the legal right with the contract that I haven't sent you. But
this is its own thing. It's a David S. Pumpkins. But I already thought of how I would do the next issue if it ever did continue. So I have like a potential plan for a longer term thing if it works.
Percolating.
Well, and that's because we're all writers. I think everyone here was like, I've got a sequel to this if I need it.
I really love it because there's not, except for Frank, who like does mostly standalones, like who does a lot of standalones. It's kind of hard to get in any of our universes at this point because like there's just not a lot of standalone stuff that, so it's really nice to have like, I can just try this like $15, $5, whatever thing and see if I like it, which I always actually liked about Frank's work. And I'm glad I could do this thing because you can read one story and be like, oh, yep, I get it. I want more. Or like, nah. Or like, yeah, this was fine. Somewhere in the middle.
It has its pros and cons.
But yeah, I think it's going to be cool. Get them.
It is cool.
Get them while they're hot. I think that this is stuff. I know we've got a few pledges as this campaign has been going on, so thank you. I know Russell and I can thank you. We're going to be with these guys helping promote this. I'm going to do more creator hangouts where we're going to have all these guys on and talking about the campaigns and getting this. But this is launch day, so get involved, be part of it. If there's any add-ons or something, you guys have some ideas, we'd love to be part of it because we're going to be online for a long time. This is a 20-day campaign, both longer than Russell and I normally do. We do 18 days. So it's 2 days longer. We gave you 2 extra days to back this.
Yeah. I think Russell kind of said, this is not just an event, but this is an experiment. So like he said, if you have an idea, if you want to see something, let us know. Because as we're experimenting, we're kind of trying to figure it out as we go. We're having fun with it, trying new different things. So we would love to hear some ideas if you have them.
And my goal, like I've said, my goal, I would love that this is really successful and that next year we can have 6th graders that may not be any of us to do another round of these next year and it become a Kickstarter thing, that's owned by the Kickstarter community where here is another hospice. We have the basic premise that we have to fit, but it's all in this connected universe and kind of build some cool things. So, but that we need to get these things funded. We need to get myself funded. Russell's already funded, but we obviously need more. We need Frank and David's to do gangbusters. We need Jamie's and Michael Watson. So we need all you guys' support to show your love for this. And even again, if you can't back them all physically, back some physically, some digitally. Just show your support, on each of these campaigns that you want to see this kind of idea on Kickstarter. And the last thing I'll talk about before we leave, I guess we should talk about Russell messaging Bryce about this and how excited he was about this being the platform.
Oh yeah, so Bryce is the new comics head, lead, director. I actually don't know if he's the head, the lead, or the director. I'm assuming he's actually the director of comics at Kickstarter. And when we emailed him, he flipped out. He was so excited at this new kind of thing. I've seen shared universes in novels, but I really have not seen something like this done in the indie space with comics, and I think it unlocks some extra potential for Kickstarter is really big on community and connectivity and creators working together. And so I don't even know if it's, I haven't seen him enough to get his opinion on it now that it's launched, but it seems like it's really exciting for them. And I would be very excited if I were Oriana or Bryce or anyone at Kickstarter, because we all want to see our favorite creators work together. And currently the only way to do that is either is through an anthology or through hiring someone to work on your book. But this unlocks the ability for creators to, not just horror creators, but fantasy creators or romance creators or whatever, to make something together while still bringing their own vibes to it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Bryce thought it was a unique idea. In fact, he kind of gave us the Witchtober thing a little early, which is because he was so excited, because that's not supposed to launch in October. So I think it's really cool. I think this could be really good for the community. Showing that these things are done, because we've seen crossovers, right? We've seen superhero crossover or stuff, but we've never seen people doing books on their own, but not sharing money, because that's the cool thing about Kickstarter. We can do this without sharing money and allow these all to flourish and do what they need to do, which is very cool. And thank you to the Kickstarter platform for allowing us to do something like this, to show that Kickstarter is a publisher. It publishes more comics than most of the comics industry every year.
For sure.
I think that's it. Anybody else want to say anything before we leave? I want to talk about David's campaign that's live. But other than that, does anybody else want to mention anything?
That was it.
Nope. It's good.
So before David leaves, let's talk about David's canceled campaign, because David, much like most of us, is on trying to finish up one campaign to go to the next, and he's only got 2 days left. We're about to hit the 48-hour mark on this.
Yep, at midnight.
So, David, can you give us a quick rundown real quick?
This is the sequel to my original one-shot for Canceled that is About a digital clown who basically is trying to influence people into taking revenge on their enemies. And in this one, it's set during Y2K, and he's targeted Samaya, who is being bullied at work.
Nice. And this connects to a direct market release, correct?
Yes, the one shot that came out through Black Caravan in April of 2022, which 2022 was somehow over a year ago now.
That is wild to even think about. We were planning this book during that time. And you've got some of the best cover artists in the world on this. You've got Ben Templesmith. You've got
Alan
Qua. You got Gale, who's making some noise. You got Jimbo, who again, every time I look at this cover, I'm like, why have I not hired this guy? It's so good.
I have an answer for that, Travis.
Money?
No, you can afford him. Come on.
Jonathan Grimm, what's the answer? I don't listen to you?
That would be the big answer, I think, yeah.
And David does cool things. You know, you can get trade dress, virgin, foil, metal. He'll print whatever you want. He'll give it to you. He's like X. X is going to give it to you.
Yes.
So, X in the equation is David. So, but this campaign is very, very good. You don't want to miss out. If you've never backed any of David's campaigns, you don't want to miss it. Can you get stake and stuff as add-ons, or is it going to be through Backer Kit?
I'll probably do them as some add-ons through Backer Kit.
Okay.
I usually try to keep the campaign targeted, but even with our hospice, I've started to add some of the other stuff just to make the library available.
Oh, nice. So we got 48 hours. Make sure you back it. You do not want to miss because all of David's stuff tend to blow up after the fact. So if you miss out, you are going to be mad.
Yes, thank you, sir.
So that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. We are going to play that outro one more time so you can hear the beautiful jingle from Frank. And by the way, I'm going to publicly apologize so people can hear it. Frank had this idea. He's like, can we do it? I said, I don't care, Frank. He's like, no, it's going to be awesome. I do it from all my campaigns. I have a song. I was like, whatever you want to do, Frank, like, it's fine. But Travis, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you. You're going to have to invest in this. Are you willing to invest? How much do I have to invest? He gave me a number. I was like, fine, I'll invest, Frank. Whatever you want, Frank. And then when I got it, I was like, damn, it is fucking cool. I was just like telling him it wasn't and just like downplaying it. It is very, very cool. And I'm very thankful we have this for our campaigns.
That's one of the top 5 best apologies I've ever gotten. So thank you.
Were the other 4 from your wife? Or are you still waiting for one of those from your wife?
We're not going to go there just yet. We don't have enough time.
So I'm going to play that out. Thank you, guys. Follow Russell, myself on Substack. Frank, where can they follow you?
At this thing, frankthewriter.com.
Cool.
On the places that use that kind of thing.
David is also on Substack, but you can also find him at the thing,
Yep.
right?
At Dab2A2 everywhere or Substack, David A. Byrne Writer. I'm not very creative. It's my website too, davidaburn.com.
All right. We will do more of these hangouts as they come up. Please back Hospice, show your support, and tell us this crazy idea is good. Or if you don't think it's good, let us know. Fight with us.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know if you think it's terrible. Please.
Right. Please. Yeah.
Don't hide. Do not think that you're going to offend us. We need to know.
We need to know.
Actually, tell Frank. I don't want to know if it's good or bad. I want to know if you like it. Like, tell Frank. Then Frank can tell me later. Like,
I'll take the suggestion box. I'll read it myself.
You can add a new item to the frequently asked questions. Why do you suck so bad?
Why do you feel that this is a bad idea? Yes or no? Give detailed answers.
But it doesn't suck. It's great. And now I'm going to go eat dinner. So
all right.
Oh, yeah, it's only 7 out there. Yeah. You have a nice rest of your night.
All right. Good night.
Do you have a friend, relative, or stalker who's close to the end? Is a toxic family member you hate about to kick the bucket? Then consider allowing them to spend the rest of their days under the care of Rising Suns Hospice, a premier end-of-care life facility with franchises all over the world. And Rising Suns isn't just any ordinary hospice. We specialize in a certain type of clientele, those that society have deemed too problematic, either because of a troubled past, anger issues, or felony assaults on their record. At Rising Suns, we give even the most hardened murderers the best of care. After all, everyone should have the chance to pass from this world while nurturing their inner demons in peace. But don't just take it from us. Here's what people are saying about Rising Suns in your neighborhood.
When Daddy was in federal prison for killing that cop, I never got to see him. But since he moved to Rising Suns, I get to visit all the time.
Just because my husband is a violent maniac doesn't mean he shouldn't die in comfort. Thanks, Rising Suns.
So what are you waiting for? Call or schedule your free tour today. Because at Rising Suns Hospice, you'll be dying to get in.
Rising Suns Hospice, where the sun never sets on the darkness inside of you.
Rising Suns Hospice is not liable for any demons or demonic entities that might emerge from your body as a result of your stay. All residents should sleep with one eye open. Do not smile, laugh, or have any thoughts of happiness or joy while staying at Rising Suns. Premature termination of life is pretty much guaranteed. Even a tour may end in death.